with the practical. So it will be a very simple one, okay? Since we are still in CMCO, yeah. So the CMCO has extended another 2 more weeks. For those who are not in Malaysia or not in Selangor, okay, we have extended for two more weeks, which means that we cannot go back to campus at the moment, yeah. And the SOP seems to be more strict since last week. No, since this week, actually, yes, after the first. Okay, so after this, the practical go through, then we will go for the camps here. Okay, so please make sure that you are with us so they can do camps immediately. Yeah. Okay, now I'm showing the slide. So this one will be for practical 5. Okay, so last week, the 2 weeks ago, practical 4, we are talking about hydrocarbons and alcohol. And for this week, we're going to talk about aldehyde, ketones, carboxylics, and also the esters. Yeah. So these are the functional groups that we are mainly focused in the practicals. And you'll be seeing that these practicals, right, some of the chemicals, the procedures, okay, the methods that we use to test the functional groups is similar. Later you'll see that we'll be using the chromic acid tests and also iodoforms, yeah, because these are some of the tests that are similar in terms of how it's going to react with the groups. Yeah, I'm going to explain later on. And for the ester, yeah, for the ester is the reaction between alcohol group and the acid group. Yeah. Okay, alcohol and the actually this one is not just acid. Yeah. Okay, make it more specific. This one will be carboxylic acid. Okay. So we're going to talk about aldehyde, ketones, carboxylic acid, and also the esters. So you know what is all this already, right? Aldehyde and ketones we have spoke about in the last week lecture. Okay, aldehyde, they have the carbonyl groups that is at the end of the molecule, yeah. Okay, at the end of the molecule. Ketones, the carbonyl group, this is called carbonyl, yeah. Okay, this group is called carbonyl group. Okay, same thing, ketones have the carbonyl groups that is somewhere in the middle. Okay, I use R and R prime here. Okay, R is means it can be any how long the hydrocarbon can be. It can be 1 carbon, 2 carbon, 3 carbon, that doesn't matter here. So I can use the R and R prime to differentiate. R means R and R prime, the difference, right, is that to show that the R prime is different from R. Okay, here maybe R can be like 1 carbon, here R prime can be 2 carbon. Okay, so R prime, you can use all these to symbolize it. Yeah. Okay, carboxylic acid will be covering this week, okay, on Wednesday. So I'll see you on Wednesday and we can talk about it. Carboxylic acid is basically COOH. Okay, and here can be the hydrocarbon however long it wants. Okay, so it's going to be COOH. All right. So for the first part of the practical, right, we're going to have 2 different compounds here. So the first one is aldehydes, okay, isovalproyl aldehydes, okay, and then the second one will be the acetone, yeah. So these two would be, one is ketone, one is aldehyde. Aliphatic means it's not the cyclic, okay, it's not cyclic or aromatic, yeah. Okay, so aliphatic means straight chain. In this case, this molecule is actually a branch, yeah. All right, so I'm not going to tell you the structure, because one of the in the report, right, that you're going to write, the pre-lab, okay, the pre-lab you need to submit, yeah. So for practical 4 and 5, you will need to submit the report together, all right, in week 12. So I want you to take note that the pre-lab also needed in the report, yeah. So the pre-lab needed in the report also. So the pre-lab, you will need to draw all the structure, including this molecule and this molecule, yeah. Because the reason why I don't want to tell you now is so that you can draw it, okay. So you can draw it and then try to identify, okay, which is the group, okay, that is how to say, that is responsible for the reactions later on I'm going to describe here, okay. So what I can tell you now is that this is aldehyde, okay, and it's a branch one with a branch chain, okay. And then this one is a ketone. The methyl ketone, what is mean by methyl ketone means that the ketones, okay, the carbon beside, there is a methyl group here, okay. So I want to draw these two groups together. Okay, so over here, the first test they're going to do, right, is basically the chromic acid test. So last week, last week in practical 4, you also see chromic acid test, yeah. So chromic acid, okay, just to reiterate again, chromic acid, which is this, okay, these two are basically the reagent. Chromic acid reagent is a strong oxidizing agent, yeah. It's a strong oxidizing agent. So the basically the chromic acid, when you react with the aldehyde, right, the aldehyde can be oxidized. Okay, it can be oxidized. That is why it can turn into blue-green, yeah. Okay, because once reacted ready, okay, sorry, not ketone. Okay, carboxylic acid. Okay, can I change this? Okay, it can be oxidized into carboxylic acid, all right, to turn into blue-green. Okay, the reason is because once oxidized, so we understand this, right? Last week I did mention that aldehyde can be oxidized into carboxylic acid, right now? Okay, so this is the case because once the chromic acid oxidized aldehyde into carboxylic acid, then the chromic agents, okay, the part that is being oxidized already, then you're going to turn into the substance that shows blue-green. So it changed from brown red to blue-green because there's a structural change here. So when there's a structural change, the color will change as well. Okay, so from brown red to blue-green. So this is the brown red. This is the blue-green. All right, so more or less now you know which substance that is going to turn brown red, right? Okay, for ketone, because ketones cannot be oxidized, so we have mentioned about ketones. Ketones cannot be oxidized to further. So in this case, if it cannot be oxidized, so the chromic acid, okay, will retain its color. Okay, so it's going to retain its color because it cannot be reacted. It cannot be reacted, cannot change in molecular structure, then the color will retain. So in this case, if the molecule that you're going to test is ketone, then In that case, no reaction happens, then you remain as negative, which is the brown red. Yeah, this is brown red. Okay, so more or less you should know by now which one is brown red, which one is the blue green. Yeah, so more or less aldehyde, okay, can react. When can react, then it can turn to blue green. Whereas for the ketones, okay, the ketones, because cannot react with chromic acid, so it will retain as brown red. Yeah, okay, so please take note of that. Later you will see that it's concurrent with the observed data that I supply to you. Yeah, okay, any questions? Any questions? Okay, no questions. Yeah. Yeah, if you got questions, if you're trying to ask, you can type inside the chat group, chat box. Okay. If you want, you can ask me directly as well. Yeah, either way is fine. Yeah, but make sure that you understand it. And if you got any doubt, please ask me. I can explain again. Yeah. Okay. The second test again, we want to test which substance is which one is aldehyde, which one is ketones. Again, yeah, the unknown A, unknown B, because in the practicals, you wouldn't be told which one is aldehyde, which one is ketones, yeah. Okay, because in the lab, okay, just to make sure that you guys know, yeah, in the lab, the substance will be known as unknown A, unknown B. So you don't know what is their identity. Okay, you don't know what is their identity. So you will be taking the unknown A and then go for a chromic acid test. Same thing with unknown B, you go for a chromic acid test, and then there's an observation. Okay, so if it's a aldehyde, okay, if it's an aldehyde, then they will turn to blue green. Okay, if it's a ketone, then you retain as the red brown. Yeah. Okay, so you're going to find out which is which. Is A aldehyde or is it B aldehyde? Okay, and so forth. So the second test you'll be doing, right, is the what we call the tolerance test. Tolerance test is quite interesting because it will form what we call a silver mirror, yeah, a silver mirror. But before I go into the test, there's a very there's a very crucial part before you do the tolerance test, and a lot of the students, right, actually didn't get this step right, yeah. Before you get to the tolerance test, you will need to prepare the tolerance reagent, okay. So the tolerance reagent, you will need the silver nitrate. Okay, you will need a silver nitrate solution, yeah. So the silver nitrate solution, you can see over here, all right? The silver nitrate solution is basically the clear, okay? But you will need to form the precipitate, okay, by adding the sodium hydroxide, okay? So after you add the sodium hydroxide already, then you will form this sort of like a bit of a cloudy brownish precipitate, the solution. All right. So you cannot use this one. You cannot use this one. If some students, right, they direct use this one, it's not, cannot be, yeah. So some students also, they will start to add, because in order for it to turn back into clear, you will need to add the ammonia solution or ammonia hydroxide solution, yeah. So you want to add, then the more you add, then the cloudiness and the precipitate will start to dissolve. Okay, and you need to add until everything dissolve, yeah, everything dissolve. If not, your test is not going to be clear, yeah. So in case if you add until you still see some a bit of precipitate down there, a lot of students will ask me, sir, is this okay already? Then I saw, still got precipitate. Okay, you need to add more. So you need to add sufficient ammonia solution, okay, until the whole solution turns clear, yeah, without any of the precipitate, and it should be clear. Then now you'll be able, okay, to do the tolerance test. Okay, so with this, you're going to be able to do a tolerance test. So the tolerance reagent, right, is very similar as well. It's a mild oxidizing agent here. So it can be oxidized. But what is special about this, right, is that once it undergo oxidizing reactions, it will leave back silver, okay, Ag silver around the test tube, okay, without perturbation, yeah, which means that during the formation, when you're doing the reaction with the tolerance test, right, and you did not perturb means you disturb, okay, if you didn't disturb the reactions, then it can form a very nice silver, okay, or if the solution is clean, yeah, not solution, if the test tube is clean, okay, if the test tube is clean, you can form a very nice silver at the surface of the test tube, okay, and the reason why is it called silver mirror, okay, form a silver mirror is because it's so clean, the silver coated at the test tube, that you can see yourself. That's why it's called silver mirror, yeah. So this is a tolerance test. Okay, the tolerance test, you will be testing the aldehyde and ketones. So in the case, only the aldehydes, all right, not alcohol, not the ketones, can reduce the tolerance reagent. Yeah. So once reacted, in the case, you will form the silver. You can see always reacted already only can form the certain substance. In that case, the chromic acid, then you will form another molecule, okay, that is blue-green. But in this case, you will leave the silver, okay, around the test tube, okay, and the test tube will be coated. So you can see from here, this is what we call a silver mirror. This one is still not so clean and nice here. Some of the students, right, able to form the silver so nice, it's like a mirror like that. Okay, so all the others like alcohol or the like the ketones, right, they will be negative. Okay, so you will remain as a clear solution. All right, so the silver mirror, as I mentioned, you can see that this one is very dirty. Okay, that's why the reaction is not so nice. So you need to make sure that the test tube is very clean and dry. Okay, clean and dry. Okay, before the reactions, there's no water and so forth. Then allow the reaction to happen here. So during the reaction, make sure that you don't really like shake it or touch it so that it can form nicely. Okay, so this is the tolerance test here. So for tolerance test, if you see a silver mirror, it's an aldehyde. If a negative, then it can be a ketone. All right. So any questions?
So during this test, Dr. Ben, there's no need to shake it or anything, just let it precipitate on itself.
After you added everything, yes.
Okay, all right, understand.
Okay. So you can see from here, right, it's also, see, after oxidize, what happened? You change from aldehyde to a carboxylic acid here. You can see over here, COO minus. Okay, usually it's COOH lah, but in this case, they react with the ammonia already. That's why it's COO minus. That's why the addition of ammonia is very important here in this case. Okay, you cannot use just the silver nitrate solution. Okay, so aldehyde change to carboxylic acid. Okay, but this carboxylic acid contains the ammonia in there. Okay, associated with it in the ionic bonding, yeah, plus and minus. Okay, yeah. Okay, the next one is idle form, yeah. All right, idle form. Last practical 4, you also have been using it. Last time it was using it to test the alcohol, secondary alcohol with the methyl group beside it. Okay, secondary alcohol is COH where the carbon attached to the OH group, there is a methyl group. Okay, this one can be anything lah. Okay, so whenever you have this secondary alcohol, then it can react. So for this case, the aldehyde, okay, aldehyde cannot form. Okay, there's only one aldehyde can form here. It's called the acetaldehyde, because in this case, okay, in this case, there is a methyl group as well. Okay, there's a methyl group as well over here. Okay, you can see that there's a methyl group here for the acetaldehyde. Yeah, but all the other aldehyde cannot react because there's no methyl group over there. In the case, okay, for the ketones, same things, only the ketones with the methyl group directly attached, okay, to the carbon with the carbonyl groups. Yeah, in this case, it's very clear cut over here. You can see over here. If this one, okay, carbonyl group directly adjacent to the methyl group, okay, adjacent to metal groups, then it can react. Okay, so same goes to the acetaldehyde. Although this is an aldehyde, but it can react. Yeah. Okay, so that's why, right, we require multiple tests, different tests. Okay, what if the unknown can be this one, acetaldehyde? Then there will be a problem already. They say, both of them are positive. I thought one is aldehyde. Okay, so there's a possibility that that could be a acetaldehyde. Yeah. But for rest of the ketones, right, the ketones, it can be however long you want. Okay, but it require to have the methyl group adjacent to the carbonyl group. Yeah. Okay, it need to be at the side meet. Okay, just right beside. Adjacent means right beside it. Yeah, same thing goes to the secondary alcohol. Okay, if it's a secondary alcohol, it needs to have a methyl group that is adjacent to the carbon attached to the OH group. Then in that case, you're going to form, once the reacted ready, okay, then you form a iodoform precipitate. So this will be this. Okay, so methyl ketones, okay, in this case, the acetone, okay, the acetone forms a yellow precipitate. The aldehyde, in this case, right, is not the acetaldehyde, okay, so it won't be form the yellow precipitate. So it should be like a clear solution here. All right. Any questions?
No, Dr. Ben.
Yes. Oh yeah. Okay. Good. I thought you want to ask question. Okay. Very good. So you are really the class rep, voice out for the whole class. Very good.
Dr.
Okay.
Ben, I have a question.
Yes. Yes.
What is the meaning of iodoform?
Where?
You just mentioned
Oh,
iodoform yellow precipitate.
it's just how to say? It's just a name for it. This one for the substance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. The substance is called iodoform.
Is it
No, not iodoform,
typing
iodoform.
error here?
Yeah. Sorry, iodoform.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry. Sometimes the what is it called? The autocorrect, right? After you type correct already, you will recorrect it.
All right.
Okay, the next test is the 2,4-dinitrophenylhydrazine test. Yeah, right. So this one will be a bit how to say, yeah. Usually this test, right, is to confirm there is the presence of aldehyde and ketones. So in this case, right, both your unknowns are aldehyde and ketones. Okay, both of them are aldehyde and ketones. So what do you expect? You expect both of them to be positive here, positive test. Okay, there's a question in chat group here. Let me check. Sorry, do we should make the practical report in complete form like introduction, materials, and whether result and so forth, or just no need. In your practical, you no need to have introduction, materials, and methods. No need, no need. You just have the pre-lab. Okay, you need to have your pre-lab. Okay, your results and the discussion part. Okay, these are the parts that will be marked. Yeah, these are the parts that will be marked. That's why in the manual, right, in the manual on top there, you will see that there's a marks allocated for the parts. That will be judged based on that. Okay, I just share with you. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's you. Make it easy. So you see over here, 5 marks. This one is 4. Sorry. So you see over here, yeah, 2 marks. These two. So I ask you to draw this out, expanded structure. Then you draw all this 9 marks. Okay, for all these draw out, and you can see. Okay, this one is given already. All right. Then you have 10 marks over here. You should know what is A and B. Then from there you do the discussion, and the discussion is 10 marks. Okay. Okay, and so forth. All right. Okay, very good. Okay, go back to the test. Okay, so in this case, right, both will be reacted. So you can see from here, after the reaction, it will be added into the molecules. You can see, see. As I mentioned many times already, when there's a change in the molecular structure, the color will change. Okay, because the color is associated with the structure of the molecule. Okay, how it is being oriented in the space. Okay, the 3-dimensional space, how it orients. Then it will change the color. So after attachment, possibly you have a slightly bend in the structure that change the color absorptions. Yeah, that's why it will change from the what we call the usually is a yellow orange solution, then it will change to a bright yellow or the bright red color here. So it really depending here on how it being reacted. So sometimes it's bright yellow, sometimes it's bright red. Okay, that really depending here. So negative test or usually is like that. After reacted, you can see the color change dramatically. Yeah. So in this case, you should expect unknown A and unknown B to have this change in color. Okay, seeing both of them, one is aldehyde, one is ketone. Okay, so you expect both to be positive tests. Yeah. All right. So you can see from here, these are the observation. So from all this observation over here, all right, find out which is which. Okay, which is which. Okay, so fairly simple, yeah. More or less, you should know by now the answer, yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, the second part, right, is very interesting. Actually, in the lab, right, this part require the smelling. Okay, which means that after reactor ready, you need to take the clear part. So for acceleration process, right, after the reactions, okay, after the reactions, you should be able to take out a small layer on top, okay, take out, and then you should smell this layer, okay, and dilute it, yeah. All right, I'm going to explain why is it that you want to just take the layer. So in the test right, in the pre-lab, okay, in the pre-lab, you will need to draw the structure. So for esterification process is basically the reaction between the carboxylic acid group, COOOH, okay, and alcohol group. So it's a reaction between these two. All right, then you form an ester. Yeah. So in the experiment, okay, in the experiment, during the practical, right, it will ask you to smell this and smell this. All right, you need to smell this and smell this. The reason why the practical asks you to smell, okay, is to tell you that both of them doesn't smell like what you're going to react afterwards. Okay, the reacted substance that you're going to smell later on doesn't smell exactly like that. For the carboxylic acid, when you smell, it smells sour. Acid is always smell sour. Okay, alcohol is going to smell like your hand sanitizer like that. Okay, the alcohol smell in your hand sanitizer, so you're going to smell like that. Okay, so you smell these two, and then after that you undergo the reactions. So when you undergo the reactions, you're going to form what we call the ester. So over here, you'll see this, this bond. Okay, this bond is called what we call the ester bond. So once you form the ester already, what happened? Once you form the ester already, this ester doesn't behave. Okay, doesn't behave like an acid. Okay, it doesn't behave like acid, or it doesn't behave like alcohol, and doesn't smell like that, both of them as well. All right, and then you're going to form water during the reactions. Okay, the reason why, okay, the reason why, as I mentioned, after the reactions, you don't smell directly. Okay, you don't smell directly. Okay, you don't smell directly. This is a nose here, so you don't smell directly. You need to take out the top part out first into a new test tube, or you can dilute it, the smell here, because sometimes the smell is too overwhelmed. You cannot smell, you cannot differentiate it. So in that case, okay, in the case you need to take it out to another test tube and dilute it. Okay, another reason why you do not smell directly is because here may have some unreacted, okay, unreacted the acid, carboxylic acid, or the alcohol. Okay, if there's some other unreacted carboxylic acid and alcohol, right, then it may interfere with the smell. So in this case, then you take out and then smell it differently. So in this experiment, we use all of them as acetic acid, so it smells like vinegar. Okay, and then we change the different type of alcohol. So in the pre-lab, you will need to draw all this out. Okay, the acetic acid is all the same, so you need to draw all the alcohol out. So in this case, right, these are some of the smell. The smell, okay, the smell can be like in the banana, okay, apple, okay, jasmine or pear, yeah, all right. So for this case, okay, for this case, I will give you, just copy this one down into your report. I will give you 4 marks here. And this part, because it's not being like cannot be justified from your side, there's no discussion for this part. Only discussion part for the first part, yeah, of the experiment. So this part only you need to do the practical, the pre-lab, and also the esterification, the table over here. Okay. So the reaction you can smell, the first one will be the apple, and the second one will be jasmine, The third one, banana and pear. Actually, this one, right, the students, initially, right, some of them, because they did not dilute, right, all of them would smell, how to say, they overwhelm their smell, okay? They overwhelm their smells, right, and then they tell me that all of them smells like nail polish, okay? You know, the nail polish, they use it to, nail polish removal, sorry. So it smells like that, all right? So what you need to do, right, is that sometimes when you want to smell the time, right, it's best that you take your finger, okay, just say that this is a test tube, yeah. So this is a test tube. When you want to smell, make sure that you swing on top, which means that you push. Okay, so the vapor will go on top here. You don't like smell directly. When you smell directly, what happens is that you overwhelm your nose. Then whatever you smell later on, right, may have interference. Okay, so in order to avoid that and also to save protect your nose, yeah, do not smell directly like that. Okay, in the lab, if the lab asks you to smell anything, do not smell directly. Okay, in case it damage your nose nerve, yeah. Okay, so how you should smell, right, is that you have that, okay, you have that ready. Then after that, you just use your finger to push the vapor to your nose. Okay, so after you push ready, then if it's still very weak, then only you smell directly. Okay, so always do like this first. Never smell directly, yeah, in case if it's sometimes if it's strong acid, some people, right, if it's strong acid, they smell directly, the acid, right, directly destroy all your nerves, yeah. Maybe you 1 week or whole day you cannot smell anything, okay, it will take some time to recover, okay, or maybe it never recover, yeah. So in the lab, please be extra careful, yeah, okay. Never ever smell directly. Use the finger, okay, the test tube here, and push the smell towards your nose, okay, so that it won't be so so strong, yeah, the concentration. Okay, remember that, yeah. So the acetic acid will have a sour taste or sour smell because it's acid. Okay, it will contribute to the sourness is due to the hydrogen ion, yeah. Okay, alcohol usually is alcoholic smell. Okay, for in this case, one of the alcohol is pungent, yeah. Okay, you can see they got a very good the description, yeah, for the smell. But you can see from here the ester smell is not any close to it, yeah. Okay, the reason, as I mentioned just now, it changed the structure. Even the physical property also change, yeah. The physical property also change. All right. At first is very hydrophilic, okay, because carboxylic acid and the alcohol, right, is very hydrophilic. But once it changed to ester, right, it become hydrophobic, yeah, because of the chain length. You can see from here, the hydrocarbon chain length is getting longer. Okay, so it's when this get longer and longer, it will form very hydrophobic. That is why you take the layer on top, okay, not at the bottom there. Okay, bottom may still have some unreacted substance at the bottom, and the water also will be at the bottom. So you take the top layer for test the smell, okay, not the bottom part. Okay, any questions?
Okay, Dr. Ben.
Everything okay, yeah?
And for me,
Okay, so please make sure combine your practical 4 and 5. Write everything, including your pre-lab, okay, the observation, and also the discussion. Okay, the discussion give me as comprehensive as possible how you determine from the test result, yeah. Okay, tell me as detailed as possible, or this group, okay, is reacted with that is why and so forth. Okay, so the more detail you get, okay, then the test result, the marks will be higher, yeah. All right.
this one, the
uh
acidification sent as well.
Sorry,
This one,
acidification, no need discussion.
wait,
Just
don't
you
need to
draw.
send it.
Sorry.
Wait, so we send this one as well, along with our
Yes.
answers.
This
Okay.
one no need. You just copy down into your report lah.
Or even though there's marks there, don't need to send. Okay.
So
Yeah,
as the esterification only need to do the pre-lab and also this table, right?
yeah, correct. Yeah, just fill in lah. Just fill in your report. I should see all the result over here. You don't copy this one. No, you don't like copy and paste this the whole thing here lah. You write your own lah. You just directly copy this result over there to your report. You got me? Means you write yourself this one.
So we
Ah.
posting our own photos, I mean our own scanning of our handwriting, right?
Yes, correct. Yeah. So you just copy this result into your report. Okay, not cut this picture into your report. Yeah. Okay, copy the answer into your report. Get it? Okay, so I will
Doctor,
need, yeah, which means that I will still need to see this table in the report. There's a mark here.
Dr. Ben, just
Yes.
to double confirm, our lab report can be handwritten or computer type also.
Yes, correct. Yeah, either way is fine.
Alright.
Yeah. Okay, you want to be handwritten also can, you want to computer type also can. Okay, but for drawing part, like I will see over here lah. So in the report, I will need to see all these things. Okay, 4 and 5, yeah, you combine into one file, yeah, please, yeah, guys. Okay, and make sure that in the report, okay, when you submit the time, right, make sure that you in your file name you at least put your the student ID in the file name, so that I know this report is whose, this report is whose. Okay, inside also, in the document inside also, please note your name and your student ID, yeah. Okay, so that I easily find who is it. Yeah, so you should have all these things lah in the report. You should have all these things. Okay, in your report you should have all these things. Okay, your pre-lab. Okay, so you can type it, or you want to you can type it, or if you can draw it over here, you can do it as well. Okay, no problem. Okay, that's why I say that some people, if they can't draw into their Word file, okay, if there's a limitation, then what they can do, right, is that you can print this out, and then you can draw it out, then you can scan it. Okay, for those who doesn't have access. For me, you can see that I have a digital pen that I can draw it over here. Okay, that's fine, no problem. Then you can type everything down for the rest of the column, no problem. Okay, but if you don't have that, you can scan this document down, and then you can draw it with your hand, yeah, handwritten, no problem, yeah. As long as you got all these sections, okay, with the covering the marks over here, okay, I'm fine. If you did not submit one section, then the mark will be 0, yeah. Okay, so you need to have all these different section, all this here, and then submit to me. So basically, for this one, you just copy the test result that I give you data into this column. Then you submit to me. Okay, so over here and so forth. Okay, for the discussion. Okay, so over here you can see classification, only this. You just copy, you get 4 marks already. So copy all the result over here, 4 marks already. No need discussion. Okay, can, yeah?
Okay,
Okay.
Dr. Ben.
Clear, yeah?
Okay,
Okay, so submit only one file. Make sure your name, student ID is all in there, yeah, including your the file name, yeah, the file name. So you can search easily. All right. Okay. If no further questions, then I will take the attendance. Attendance time, yeah. So how's the COVID situation in Indonesia?
our COVID cases rising up until 2,700 per day. But eventually our government have already, yeah, up to you lah. Previously on the last week we have a long
Mm-hmm.
weekend from Wednesday to Sunday, right? And
Mm-hmm.
every like Jakarta people was coming to my city Bandung.
Oh.
Some people was coming to Bogor, and of course the COVID-19 won't able to be finished soon, right?
Oh my God. So the travel is still allowed lah.
Actually, I don't know. I think if using by car, there's no prohibition like for very very strict lah.
Oh.
But if you using a plane, like my friend previously go to Bali, using plane, they need to have a rapid test 3 days before they
Oh.
go.
Okay. So what's the cases every day?
Uh,
Hun-
I
100
think now is already 400 something, 412,000.
a day lah.
Well, I mean, in a day we already reached 2,700.
Oh.
They
Wow,
still let
2,000.
cars go like that.
Wow.
Actually, because of our government is already concerning for protocol, healthy protocol and others, but our I think like people's don't having the same big concern lah, because
Hmm.
in our economic life we still have to struggle, right? If
Ya
we
lah, ya lah.
on everything won't be able to move on
Hmm.
very very good lah. So I think the government is already okay. It's up to you lah. You want to travel, you want to do everything, it's up to you. But like previously 2 weeks ago we have demonstration, right? The big demonstration in Indonesia,
Uh,
and that's rising up the COVID-19 because there's a new cluster in the demonstration.